Hey guys, I'm Layla. Welcome to Raid Lore Stories. Today's story is going to be for Thor Faehammer for Raid Shadow Legends, part of the Asgard Divide event that we have going on. So how about it? They actually put, Thor and Odin, Freya, and Loki into the game. I do have the lore stories also available on this channel if you guys want to check it out. I have not read his story at all. I was waiting for you guys. Very interesting what they have here. So maybe like the Frost Giants. He's carrying around a head on his back. I didn't actually expect that. I expected the lightning hammer here, but I didn't expect a head on his back. And I guess maybe they'll also explain about the horn that he's carrying as well too. So let's read it together. Wielder of the legendary hammer Mjolnir, Thor is blunt and yet yielding as the weapon he proudly bears. Before Asgard hid itself from the prying eyes of mortals, Thor was revealed by the people of Frostheim. Whole sought to follow his example, his devotion to duty, and unflinching loyalty to his lord and people. Warriors honed their bodies and practiced their battle drills daily to emulate Thor's incredible strength and formidable endurance. Fulmanciers and Stormcasters held him as their patron for his mastery of thunder and lightning. The hammer became ingrained in Frostheim culture as a symbol of strength, with people inking it into their flesh or wearing it as a pendant, even though the name of Thor has been largely forgotten in the modern day. The tales of Thor's countless great deeds were told all over Frostheim. One favorite told of how he tied the terrible demon serpent Jormungandr into an unsolvable knot and cast it into a freezing ocean to drown. Another was the time when he slew a dozen dragon assassins who reached Odin's throne room disguised as diplomats. Though he did not crush into scaled pace with Mjolnir, he throttled with his bare hands. Thor's greatest victory became known as the Jotun Breaking. The Rime Titans, a powerful Jotun clan, expanded from their domain in the Razor Fjords, and in northeast Red Spikes, destroying villages, stealing livestock, and butchering people. Magically attuned to the region's wintry climes, the Jotun's skin was blue and hard as frozen rock, their hair icicles and hoarfrost. They bore jagged shields and weapons of solid mountain rock, which they carved with their bare teeth. Alone, Thor met hundreds of Rime Titans atop the Storok Glacier as the sun set. War cries, the cracking of rock, and bellows of pain were heard 50 leagues away. And in numerous towns, the night was made day by the flashing of countless lightning bolts. It was over by sunrise. Trackers climbed to the glacier's top and peered over the edge. The Storok's surface was littered with the body parts of pulverized Jotun and smeared with their blood. Body parts charred by lightning were so intermingled with the gore there was no telling how many Jotun there had been. Thor was nowhere to be seen. When he returned to Asgard, he carried on his back the severed head of the Rime Titan's chieftain. His forehead caved in where Mjolnir had struck it. The Rime Titans all but disappeared from history. It was sometime after this battle, or in the Age of Treachery, that Thor met Loki, a wandering fae who had come to Asgard. The two were polar opposites. Loki irrelevant and sly, Thor serious and true. Both realized they had a love of adventuring across wild Teleria. Loki plied Thor with questions about the red spikes, and Thor was fascinated by Loki's tales of the jungles of Torslinistriv and the shifting dunes of the Kraken Desert. The two spent years adventuring together. Thor showed Loki every inch of the red spikes. He could name every peak, river, ridge, and pass. They traveled into wider and hell, including the Mountains of Despair, of which Thor knew little less than his own land. Together they beheld wonders, escaped monsters, tumbled down scree slopes, and swam through raging torrents. He was always disappointed, however, that Loki never showed him anything from his amazing tales. They never traveled to distant Peltas to see the arenas of Velazar or the city-shaped marshes of the Sorrow Lakes. Long after Loki had disappeared without a word, upsetting Thor, who trusted his friend, had good reason. Freya, the golden spoke of visions, connected to the elusive Fae. Thor was at first happy. Perhaps his friend was returning. But as she continued, Freya said she saw signs connecting the trickster with a plot to free the Fire Knight and thaw the waters of life. Thor felt betrayed. Was Loki using everything he taught him about the nature of ice and snow, of the dangers of mountains and how to survive them, in a quest to do the unthinkable? Ultimately, the answer mattered not. Odin silently ordered Thor to apprehend Loki and bring him to Asgard. It almost certainly meant fighting his old friend, though he hoped it would not come to that. One question did occur to him. What if Loki was doing this for good? What if Freya misunderstood or missed some crucial detail? The only way to know was to find Loki. But the Fae was a clever being. He was not above lying, a skill he could easily use for ill. Thor hoped his friendship with Loki would see all this settled. If he had to bring Mjolnir to bear, he would, but the thought of that was as dark as the clouds above as he departed Asgard. Okay, guys, I like the story that they went with Thor, and they explained the head, right? It was one of those Rhyme Titans. It was the Rhyme Titan chieftain, so they explained that. And they explained how basically this is supposed to be where the hammer struck him on the head. So I get the design now. I think that's good. Guys, drop me a comment down below. What do you think for the lore story for Thor? Do you think it does the gods some justice, considering that obviously they had to tweak it to make it fit Teleria and Raid, right? I'd love to know what you guys think. Drop me a comment down below, and thanks for watching.